everybody, it's Mrs. Pettis, and today I'm going to continue on with the Squashbook project, and I'm going to show you how to make the sort of the base of your Squashbook. Okay, you're going to be putting together some, you've created your artwork, and now you need the base in which to glue everything to. So I'm starting off with 3 9-inch squares of construction paper. Mine are red, orange, and yellow, just so that you can see the 3 different pages that I'm working with. But also the lighter page is a little bit easier for you to see the folds that I'm going to be making. If I were creating my Squashbook for real, I would be using black, I think, as a paper, because I think that black looks really nice with all the artwork I've created. But this is good for the video. But when we start off, I want you to be aware of the 2 different folds that we're going to be using. And I have diagrams of them up there. So the first is the valley fold. That is a fold that goes away from you, like a valley. It goes in, whereas a mountain fold kind of bumps up. And that's going to be really important that we know the difference between these 2, because we're going to be folding our pages in a certain way. So I want to start off with my first piece of paper. And the first thing I want to do is I want to fold it in half, nice and even. I'm going to open it up. I'm going to turn it. And I'm going to fold it again in half. So when I open this up, I should have a plus mark or a cross with 2 different folds. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to flip this. So now these are mountain folds. And I'm going to fold it in half on the diagonal. That's really important that you do a good job folding these. I know a lot of times kids will rush and it won't come out that great. And with this project, it's really important that things look good. So now when I open this back up, I have a mountain, 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 mountain in the shape of a plus. And I have a valley going across here. All right, let's do the second page. We fold in half, open it up, turn, fold it in half, open it up, flip, and fold on the diagonal. Okay, third piece of paper, we're going to fold in half, open up, turn, fold in half, so now we have that plus, now flip it, fold it again on the diagonal, just once. So now we have our 3 pieces of paper and they've got the folds in them. So now I want to assemble my Squashbook. So I'm going to start off with the red one. If you were doing these all the same color, like black, like I suggested, then it really wouldn't matter which one you started with. But because I'm doing using color, I'm going to start with that one. All right, so what I need to do is I want to start off with my red piece of paper, my first piece of paper, and I want it so that the valley folds are going across like this, and that first diagonal is going this way. Now, I'm going to write glue in this section. That section is where I am going to glue. I'm going to put some glue stick, and you want to put a pretty generous amount of glue on here because we're going to be gluing that orange page, the second page, to it. And but you don't want to go over that boundary. We just want to go right up until the, so we're just putting the stuff on that one square. Okay. And then I'm going to take my orange piece and I want it so that the valley diagonal is like this. And I want to glue that first square right on top of the glue. So I've got my first page with a mountain diagonal. My second page has a valley diagonal. Okay. And then we're going to put some glue there. We're going to put nice, generous amount of glue. Don't go over into any of the other squares. Okay. We're now going to put this last page on here, and we want it so that we have the mountain diagonal. I'm going to glue that first square on. Okay, and now if you look, we can start to fold up the book. So you kind of want to do, look, they're folding away. Okay, and these guys, the points come in, and it gently squashes down, and we have our squash book, the base. You just want to go over closing the book up one more time because this can be challenging. So you want to take the 2 points and you want to kind of bring them together, and you can gently start to squash these. Now the orange, that center portion, bring those points together, but they're going to be going in an opposite direction. And then you want to come and squish this down. Okay? It should form a nice, neat package without any loose bits coming out. Okay, so now we need to put the artwork that we've created into the squash book. So I have 4 different pieces that I've created here, and then my 5th piece, which is my cover. It says Mom. So since that's my name, I decided to put that as my cover image. And what you want to do is you want to arrange the images. Remember that the 4 images are going to be going down the center pieces of the squash book. So you'll be able to see all 4 pieces at the same time. So I'm going to remove the Mom cover image and put that aside for now. So these 4 pieces are going to be in the center of my book. They're going to be seen at the same time. So it's really important that I put them in a way that they look good together. So right now I have 2 pieces that are pretty colorful, and I split them up and I balanced them out with my less colorful pieces. I also noticed that when I was doing this, that this is more of a structured piece. It's more precise, whereas this is abstract, and that's more structured, and then that's abstract. So I really like the way that the order that they're in, and I think they're really balanced. I did do this one first, and I did do that one last, but that doesn't necessarily matter, unless you maybe are wanting to show that progression. So what I want to do is I want to take on the first square of my squash book, I want to take and glue my first image in. Then my second one will go on the second section. Third part. Now these are being glued in with glue stick. Glue stick is really nice and permanent. And make sure that when you're doing it, that you're putting the glue on the back of the object that you're wanting to glue down. Do not put the glue here, because what's going to happen is this is bigger than the artwork that you want to glue on, and you'll have extra glue all over and it'll be all gross. Whereas if you put the glue here, then you'll make sure that you get the entire backside of the piece and everything. And there won't be any extra. You will be able to see that construction paper around your artwork. So you do want to check to use a piece of artwork, construction paper that you think is going to go well with your artwork. Like I said, I would have chosen black, but you could choose any colors that you want. If you only have copy paper, you can use that as well. All right. Okay, now it's time to put all of the other information into our Squashbook. So I've created some triangles here. What I did was I had a 4-inch square and I just cut it on the diagonal. And what that's going to do is that gave me the sections, the triangular sections that are going to go here and here all along my work. So what you're supposed to do for each of the pieces is you're going to end up filling out this reflection form here. And this next part is the information about the art. So you have art piece number 1. Mine is this Zentangle. And I'm wondering, what is the title? My title is, I don't even know how to say that, Ixorus. Okay. And the medium that I used was ink and pencil. So that's on the first triangle. We're going to put the title of the work, Ixorus, and it's regarding this piece here. The art medium that I used was ink and pencil. Okay. The second one, the information for the second piece goes here. This is called My World. This is actually a bird's eye view, an abstract painting based on the bird's eye view of my home using Google Earth. And the art materials that I used, the art medium, were watercolor, chalk, and colored pencil. Okay, so that relates to this piece. And you keep going on, and we're gluing these on with glue stick. Of course, remember, we're putting the glue on the back of the triangle and then gluing it down. Okay, needs to be done. It's nice and secure and neatly. So the title of this piece here is called Spring Quilt. That is a magazine collage with ink. Okay, and then you might be wondering, well, where am I going to put this one? So that one actually just goes on the back of the Squashbook. It's called Found Geode, and my art materials were washable markers, Sharpies, and salt. Okay, so now I have my artwork down the center. I have information about the artwork over here, and you might be wondering what's going to go over here. I will tell you in just one second. So we're in the final portion of our creating our Squashbook. I have my artwork down the center, my 4 pieces of artwork. I have the triangles of paper glued in that tell about each of the titles of the pieces and the art materials that were used to create those pieces. And now I need to deal with this section here. Now you're going to need 6 triangles. And I got those triangles by taking a 4-inch square of paper. It's 4 inches. And I cut it on the diagonal. So now I have 2 triangles. And those are going to get glued in here, just like we did with our other, with the triangles over here. These are going to get glued down over here. These triangles all along this side, so these 6 triangles on this side, are going to describe your artist statement. Your artist statement is, I have that information there, and this is just a way for me to get to know a little bit more about the work that you've created during this project. Okay, You've created a collection by um, displaying these pieces together, and or like a portfolio of work. So I'm trying to learn more about all of those pieces. Okay, all of these pieces in the group. I'm looking for 6 to 8 sentences about the project and your process over the past 2 weeks. So here are some questions that you could talk about. And I am looking for 6 to 8 sentences. So I'm talking about, why did you choose the mediums? Why did you choose these topics or subjects? What medium or art media was challenging to you? How did you overcome these challenges? What did you learn? What did you do well? What could you do better? And which one of these pieces in your collection is your favorite piece, and why? Do you have to answer all of these? No. But you need to have a really great reflection about the whole collection. So what I would suggest is writing your reflection out first, and then you can transfer it onto here. I wouldn't glue these in just yet until you're sure that you like it. Because if you make a mistake, I guess you could erase them if you used pencil and then went over it later with Sharpie or pen. But you just want to make sure that what you're writing over here is really well thought out, and it goes over all 6 of the panels that you have. All right. Okay, so we now have our artwork down the center, the title and medium about our art over here, and now we have the reflection done. So remember, we're using the reflection form to come up with some really great sentences that we can write over here. So your reflection is going all along here, 6 to 8 sentences all the way down. So now what we're going to do is we're going to put on the cover. So we're going to fold up our book. Hopefully you folding up your book with your artwork in it this is not the first time you folded it, because you want to work out the kinks before you have all your artwork in it. Okay, so we've got our squash book here, and now I have my cover art, and I am going to use the glue stick and glue that on. I've added a little bit of dimension to my cover art, so it kind of like pops out a little bit. You do not need to do that. But whatever you do, you want to make sure in all of these that you are using a good quality glue stick to glue it on all of the pieces of paper. All right, and there it is, my finished squash book. Wow, that was a lot of work, but it looks amazing. I can't wait to see yours. Talk soon. Bye.